Hey everybody, welcome to this week's vlog. I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually doing a vlog. I know that some is instructional, and every now and then I like to do something fun, something different, and show you a little bit more behind the scenes, kind of into my life. So if you don't like that content, skip this video. But this is basically just going to be me hanging out, filming everything that goes on during Halloween time. So right now it's about 2 weeks before, like a week and a half before Halloween. And this is my busiest time of the year. Like it's so crazy busy because I have so many events going on. And then I made it worse for myself by doing a bunch of in-depth videos this month. And I just got a lot. I have a lot both planned in my personal life and in work life. And I just wanted to bring you guys along. So this is kind of like my workspace in my shed. And the reason why I'm doing a vlog is that unfortunately my video that I really wanted to do for you guys fell through. I sort of talked a little bit about it last week, but I really wanted to do a ghost hunt or like a spirit tour where I walked into somewhere that had activity and then kind of told you guys what I sensed. And so I had this place all lined up and there were really awesome people there. They really wanted to get me in and do it, but their upper management basically just said no. We don't want to allow it. And I think the reason why they probably didn't want to go that direction is once you start marketing a building or a space as being like haunted or having spirits, you really start to change the dynamics of like, okay, who is your audience? Who's going to come to this place, this venue? Who's going to book you? And I mean, I get it. Like, if you start saying your place is haunted, there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to come. And that's unfortunately because of all the stigma around it and the fact that people just like don't understand and so they're afraid. And so that can hurt a lot of people's businesses, and I totally get it. It'll start to attract people that only want to do spirit related stuff, and then it makes it really hard as a business to basically say, hey, I want to also promote weddings, or I want to promote these types of events. And when you're kind of pigeonholed into doing paranormal stuff only, it can be a little bit limiting. And I totally get it. And I just wanted to say, for any of you guys that are out there that are doing this kind of work, that are filming, or maybe you just have like a paranormal group, remember to always get permission. Remember to talk to their marketing team, make sure that they're okay with stuff like that. Because we don't want to be just showing up to people's places randomly and filming and then, putting out marketing about something that might not be, exactly in alignment with what they want to do. So I completely 100% respect that, this place had to do it. I feel bad because I didn't have like a backup lined up. So I was really hoping that we could do something like that for the video last week, but instead I'm just kind of doing the vlog for you guys, as well as I made that funeral video for you all. I will say though that I will keep doing those types of videos. I just should have had a few lined up, like more options in case one fell through like this. And I hope to not just wait till next Halloween. I think, on my channel that'll fit in at any time of the year. So I have a few lined up that I'm hoping maybe I can do sometime in the near future. I do plan on doing those types of videos. It just comes with a lot of upfront planning. I basically have to go in, talk to them, get their permission. They have to get a feel for me and make sure I'm not crazy. So there will be videos like that coming out. Just stay subscribed and hopefully you will see them soon. So I have 6 events planned for this year. It's insane to me. Even in 2019, like 2020, I think I still had a single event and we all wore masks and stuff, but most everyone did not do events last year. But this year, I think everyone is making up for it and they're just planning these huge Halloween parties. So I have 6 events this year. That's a lot. They're going to be spaced out, but I'm going to take you along with me to all of those. But I've also got Halloween with my son. Technically, last year was his first Halloween, but he was so little, like, he doesn't even understand. So we're going to do Halloween. I also have, like, a lot of classes around this time because a lot of intuitive people plan stuff for October, like, including myself. So I'm taking a tarot course. So I'm just going to basically have you follow along day-to-day life and see what's up. So a lot of my events I actually book through Gig Salad. And so I made like a profile. I've got a mess here. I made a profile and basically anyone that's in my area local to me, they can't see like my address or anything, but the website will say, okay, you want a quote for your party, I'm going to send it to the types of people in your area. And so Gig Salad, I have been on it for many years, and it's great because it actually gets me work in my off season. Like I'll still get birthday parties, bachelorette parties. Usually I have about a Christmas party. We'll see this year what happens. I've already quoted a few, haven't heard back. But if you are a psychic and you want to do in-person events, definitely check out Gig Salad. This is not sponsored by them in any way, but I mean, I've gotten so much work from them. I think it's a great tool. And I think it's just because their SEO is really good. Basically, someone goes in and types like, I want a psychic for my event, and their website pops up. So naturally, their marketing is doing the marketing for me. And then hopefully when people see my quote, I mean, they get quotes from probably other local psychics. Honestly, though, I don't think where I'm at specifically, there's a whole lot. Either that or I'm just the one that's mostly getting booked. I don't know. But this is where I can check my calendar. They have like a tool for me to quote, ask for deposits. And what's great about it too is that it has like a contract up front. The only bad thing is they do take a fee, but I just kind of up my prices so that I account for that fee. So if you want to learn more about Gig Salad, check out my video where I talk about like just businessy things. I'll link that in the card above. And basically you can see me talk more in depth on how I book people. But most events actually come through Gig Salad. I have very few people that find me through my website right now. And I think that's just because I don't do a whole lot of local ads, basically. Right now, YouTube advertises me and Gig Salad in a way, but I don't pay for ads otherwise. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's going to be more vlog style, just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, recording things. I hope that's what you enjoy. I know that these typically do not do as well, but I like making them, and that's what's important. All right, let's get started. I have a lot of work today. Most of my work is basically just sitting here making content, updating emails, getting back to people. It's mostly making content. Good morning, everyone. Today it's Saturday, and I have 2 Halloween events that I've got to do today. But I'm still in the middle of a tarot class, so I have to pull a tarot card for today so that I can get to know the deck. And so we learned about the court cards, so I'm only pulling from the 16 court cards today, and I'm gonna see how they relate to today so that I can learn more about the tarot. So that's a fun little way if you're trying to get to know tarot or just a new deck. You can ask, hey, show me what card is about today and what themes will be revealed to me throughout the day. So let's see. Page of Pentacles. All right, so now I'm just gonna go about my day and observe, and kind of at the end of the day I'll kind of take note of, hey, what kind of came up that might remind me of this card or have themes similar to this card. So I found these cool nails on Amazon, and they're basically just little stickers, and then once you get them on your nails, then all you have to do is put just a clear coat of polish. So this is what I'm going to basically be using for every event, just so that my nails aren't nasty, because people look at my nails a lot as I'm pulling tarot cards. Did you drop your spoon? So I've got 2 Halloween parties that I've got to go to today. So I've already packed my bag, and I always do that because I'm so bad at running late sometimes, and I have it all ready to go ahead of time. So in case I'm running late, it's not an added stress that's going to pull me out of my psychic ability when I get there. So let me show you what I bring with me. So this bag is basically just full of tarot cards. I also have my business cards as well. This is how I often get a lot of new clients, so I always make sure to bring those. Then I have this kind of like this tapestry, and it works really well as a way to cover up a table if I need to. Sometimes the tables that clients provide me are not the nicest. And then I basically just have a few little things that can go onto the table decoration wise. So I grabbed a pendulum, a cute little pumpkin. I have a little pyramid, and then in here I have some Astro dice. And then because I'm reading kids today, I pre-made some questions on things that I can ask them. And I'm gonna talk about reading kids more later in this video. And then of course, it's not in yet, but I do have a new witchy hat on the way. This is my old one. It's just kind of like from a candy corn witch outfit that was like a really sexy one that doesn't fit anymore. But I kept the hat. So I have this that I'll wear today. And this is just so people understand that I'm like, you know, not just like a parent or, you know, somebody else that's a guest at the party. I'm like actually somebody there that's offering a service. All right, this is what I'm wearing, plus a scarf. I still like to look semi-nice. I don't show up in a sweatshirt is my point. Let's go. Atlas. This is why you can't vlog and do things at the same time. Why do people do that?
People that vlog are just smarter than you.
Bye-bye. You just want to play the light. Bye.
Love you.
Woohoo! Here, this is actually super close to where I live, so it was like a super fast drive. Now, I've done these before where it's a kid event, and so mostly it's like they have a bunch of stuff they can play with, and then they have a psychic reader. Honestly, the majority of the people that come to see me are kids, and I'm on the fence about how to read kids, but I'm going to talk about that more. But sometimes adults will sit down and get a reading from me. But I'm going to walk in and try to find my point of contact, because it's not actually the school that hired me. It's somebody that has a booth here that wanted to just have something fun for their business, because their business is just like an insurance company, basically. So yeah, I'm going to go find them and get everything all set up. This is what I get for having a husky.
That's her bag right there.
I hope you guys can hear this. It's a little odd filming in front of everybody, but with kids, the issue is that I always want to make sure that I have permission from their parents. And if they don't have permission, I'm definitely not going to do a reading. So it's a type of mermaid. Those are one of my favorites.
What's this one about?
So thank you guys. These are tarot cards.
Tarot cards.
Yeah, so and you got the ladybug. Ladybugs are really good at noticing all the small things too, because they're really small and they're low to the ground. So that might mean you're good at noticing things that other people don't notice.
Sure, it's a pleasure playing for you. We're gonna do one more song and then take a little break.
Do you want to ask what mermaid is most like you? Yes.
Ooh.
That one's my favorite.
I love animals.
You do? To be honest though, I feel like people putting money on me for like kids events is kind of a waste, because I'm really not doing readings, honestly. And I want to talk about the ethics of reading kids. And I made sure to get parents' permissions, because a lot of them were walking around with mom or dad. I made sure that mom or dad were okay with it. And I was pleasantly surprised with how many people were like, yeah, okay, of course. One guy even said, we're not far enough south for not being able to like the tarot. And I was just like cracking up. But I'm headed to my second party today. It's the only other one I have. So that was 2 hours, and then I have another 3-hour one, but I have an hour break in between, which is enough time for me to kind of like decompress, get some food. I know that 4 hours is kind of like my limit, so I'm pushing it by an extra hour, but since there's this break in between, I think I'll be fine. I always feel so weird filming in my car because there's like a person right there. I will just start by saying I am in a swanky part of town. I love these houses. I'll show you a little bit when I get out of here. So I've stuffed my face. I am at the next location. I have like 10 minutes. And I wanted to chat about kind of reading kids, because there is some debate among psychics on like whether or not you should do this. Now, I actually was not taught
whether or not to do it, or if you are, like how to do it. So I have just been going off of my own intuition and by testing it out. Well, I've done a lot of events and sometimes kids will come up, and so I kind of got thrown into it the hard way and I wasn't exactly sure like what to do. And so I think even my very first one, I was like, well, I can't just sit here and be like, what are you stressed out about? Like what's bothering you in life? Let's figure out your problems, because that's so often like what adults usually come to me for. The ones that I have done, I've experimented, and I bought kids tarot cards, and now kind of what I do is I keep it very light, and the questions that I ask are questions that are not gonna like cause problems. And my intention with all of it with kids is to never scare them, to only provide positive information. Now, if you're an adult and you're coming to me, I wouldn't omit the negative the negative information that I'm getting. I tell you everything that I get. But with a kid, I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, your parents are fighting and life sucks, you know. I'm not gonna say something like that. So instead what I do is I think about the questions that I could ask ahead of time and I ask them for them. So the questions that I kept going through tonight were, what are your talents? What are you really good at? What animal is most like you? And so there's nothing metaphysical inherently in those questions. There's nothing in there that's going to make them question their reality or their belief system. That's not like for me to like say it all. So I think the biggest thing with the kids is to never have any questions that might give answers that are negative, that might make them question their beliefs. It should be very light, very fun. And so I truly with my gut feel like those are okay. You know, I think when people say, oh, don't read kids, I think they mean don't read it in the way that you would an adult. Like, don't talk about past lives, don't talk about spirit guides, you know, especially if they don't believe in that. That could be very confusing. But I think it is completely okay to say, hey, what are you talented at? What are you good at? And the thing is, guys, even if they're not talented at that, it gives them a confidence boost. Then they go forward being like, I'm talented at this. And then maybe they will be talented at it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And so I'm kind of on the fence here with people that say don't do it, because there are kids and there are parents that are completely okay with it. And so if you have questions in your back pocket, if you're prepared, I don't see why they can't have any fun either. For the even smaller kids, what I do is I just let them play with the cards. Like, I'm not even reading, you guys. I didn't do any readings unless an adult sat down, which I don't think there was an adult at all that sat down in that last one. There was one dad. But everyone else was kids. I legitimately didn't even like really turn my psychic ability on. There was a few kids that I was like, okay, I see the pattern that's coming up here. Like, there's definitely some rough stuff at home. But again, kept that to myself. And so I really honestly didn't use my psychic ability at all during that whole entire time. So if you guys want me to talk more about ethics and reading with kids, let me know. I'd love to make like a whole video around it. I think there's some basic principles that you should probably follow, but I don't want to get to it all within this vlog because it's supposed to be a vlog. I mean, look at this. Amazing. Beautiful homes. All right, what question?
How can I have success in life?
Ooh, that's a great question. Tarot card? These, where did I put it? These ones are tarot cards. And so they're based off of this actual deck. And so if you get anything that's based off of the tarot deck, it's gonna match up. But these are all tarot cards. Yep. I'm done. I'm headed back home. And I have no voice. I got a really nice tip. Actually, I think this is the best tip I've ever made. Honestly, I don't expect tips. Really, I don't. I charge for what I need. And if anyone tips, awesome, but I'm not like grumpy if people don't. Like, I really don't expect it. And I mean that. I find that unpacking when I get home actually helps me disconnect more, because I find that if my bag is laying around and I'm just like staring at it the next day,
or something like that, it's like I'm still attached to that energy, and I'll look at it and I'll still think of the energy of the party. So even if I'm tired, I will put all my things away. I had the full range of ages today. I had really little kiddos at that fair, and then I had at the second party, I had a lot of, I would say, kind of preteen kids coming to talk to me. And that's like the only video I got because I was just swamped. Like, I did not have a free second. At one point I did get up halfway through to take a break, but basically there was always a line. There's always people waiting. I do think that preteens honestly can handle this kind of stuff. And what I affirmed tonight was just that sometimes they really need that. Sometimes talking to a psychic, they will open up in a way that they probably won't to their parents. And sometimes I understand, okay, I need to not be psychic here and I need to counsel them, and so I will. I think my point with the kids is like there's a way that it can be done, and I firmly believe that. I don't think that we have to say no to reading kids, period. I think we just have to do it differently. I think it has to be a lot more set in kind of logic and counseling. And it's very important that that counseling comes from a correct place. And I think as long as you're keeping the intention positive, that you're not reading into any of their stresses, you're only focusing on questions that will yield positive answers. And again, like light, meaning not getting into anything heavy. And just being very discerning and constantly talking to my guides of, should I say this or should I not say this? I think you can read them. And that might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going with it. I think I've found a happy medium of knowing, okay, this kid is younger. I'm going to just play. We're going to play with the cards. That's it. You pull a card. What is your favorite animal? Like, I'm not even doing a reading. And we just look at all the cards together. That's it. They don't know it's not a reading. It's okay. And then with those older kids, it turns into, I'm somebody they could talk to and maybe get some advice. And yes, I'm going to give them some maybe practical advice, but also intuitive advice. And maybe that's something they really need. And there was several kids tonight that I think really needed to hear some of the information that I said, especially when it came to like confidence and knowing how to pick out the right friends. And, you know, one of the reasons why I love doing events is it always challenges me as a reader. And I learned reading in person, so doing events seemed like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I started reading at events early on. And the thing is you're going to be nervous. You're going to be stressed out. And even to this day, I still have those moments. Perfect example was one dude sat down and basically just like gave me no feedback. Like didn't say anything. Gave him a reading and kind of said like, oh, that doesn't resonate. He was really nice, but he was just like, I'm not sure what that's about. And as a new reader, that can really like make you panic. It can make you feel like you have to start over or go longer because you need to make them feel happy or impressed. And I think instead you should do one of two things. Either say, hey, I'm not connecting. Maybe I'm just not doing a good job for you and I'm sorry. And you can just like kind of move them away. Or you can go back to the psychic information, keep trying and double checking to see where you were right or where you were wrong. And that's what I did with this guy. Was I tried not to panic. I tried not to let those emotions get in the way of using my psychic ability. And I basically said, okay, what am I getting off here? And I'm kind of redoing it, not redoing it, but just re-looking at everything. And I really felt like I wasn't wrong. I really felt like he just maybe wasn't thinking about it or maybe wasn't putting two and two together yet. And so I just said how I felt. I just said, I could be connecting wrong, but this is what I feel like the message is. Moments like that, again, can really scare you as a beginner, but I think they make you a better reader. And there's always something at events that kind of help me remember all of these lessons. And I think even if you don't read in events, just reading on the phone or reading face to face or reading on a video call,
you learn all of these things. And I think, I don't want to say that's why I'm a better reader, but I think it does help because I'm getting a wide variety of interactions. There was a lady, what did she do? She came up to my table and she said, she's like, I used to read cards too. And I was reading somebody else at this time. And she goes, I just want to touch you. And she reached out and she grabbed me and like touched my arm all weird. I was like, what did I do?
She wanted to touch your psychic juju while you read.
I think that's it. It was so weird. I've never had somebody do that. I was like, why would someone want to touch me?
It seems like every party season you get a couple stories like that.
Oh yeah, every time there's something that's good. I often sit here and decompress with my husband because he's very good at helping me do that. Again, I've done another video on exactly like the behind the scenes of an event before. I think it covers some different things, so if you're still curious, go check out that video. Good morning. So one of my chores for today is to finish making my son's costume. So I have a robe that I got for him, but I need to put a Hogwarts patch on it, and I have a tie for him, but I need to cut it and make it smaller. Just kind of doing the finishing touches to his little outfit.
What are you doing? Books all the way to...
No. What is that? That's sound foam.
In all my D&D journals, there's little like lotion drawings.
Can I see?
Potato a la couch. Lotion drawing.
Baby boy is taking a nap. So for his robe, I have this patch, but it's like an iron-on patch, and I didn't want to iron it onto this, especially because this robe probably will not fit him by next year. And so if we have other kids in the future, I want to make it so that no matter what house, or maybe he can wear it next year and he wants a different house. But I figured I'd just put some Velcro on it, and then that way I could just change out the patches no matter what house is needed. I think I did a pretty good job. It's not fancy, but for somebody who took like 3 classes of 4-H, it's okay. Turning on the TV because I think my husband is about to go live on his channel, so just trying to help him get those views up. I know how hard it is when you're first starting, so I'm gonna do that while I finish this robe. Again, not the prettiest, but it's on there. That's all that matters. What do you think, buddy? How did mommy do? You did a pretty. That's your costume. Are you gonna be? Oh. Uh-oh. Can I see? Can I see you turn it on? Turn it on. So we were just rushing to try to do a photo shoot before we lost the light. And I definitely did not make it out in time, but let's see how those photos turn out. So I just found out that one of the parties this weekend, the person booked another psychic. Not like replacing me, but like alongside me. Now, I've been to her house in years previous, and like I know she's totally cool, but at the same time it's kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes it's helpful to ask first. So I don't know if ever you guys are ever booking a psychic,
definitely ask the other psychic if it's okay first. Now, obviously, this is totally fine with me, but there might be certain considerations like, hey, let's not stick us right next to each other or right in the same room. Because I did go to a party once where they stuck me right next to another dude, and he was dressed in a full turban, like, outfit, Egyptian looking, kind of like Halloween outfit, like very silly. And I was there, you know, dressed like a normal human, and it just made me look bad. And then there was kind of like this comparison thing going on of people being like, which would I choose? And then they like going to either person and then deciding, oh, she's better or oh, he's better. And it's just kind of like, it's not the best. Like, you can have two psychics, but always ask first, and then, you know, make sure that they have their own spaces. Now, she's already got her own space for me. Honestly, I'm totally fine. I'm not like a competitive person. There is enough for everyone. And the last time that I did this party, there was a line and I did not get to everybody. Like, there was a line the entire night. So I do think this might take some of the pressure off of me, which is great that I don't have to get to everybody. But hopefully the other person there is cool and like not weird and not gonna be like competitive towards me and then, you know, throw off my energy because of that. So I'll see how it goes. My hope is that they might be cool enough to even let me chat with them and get with them on video. Let's see.
With both cameras and between two people, you know, fast.
I don't know. This looks way cooler online. Do you want to wait? Yay! So I have got a giveaway going on tomorrow. It's going to end. So I'm going to go ahead and pack up the box that I have that's going to go out to the winner. So I've got this print from Haley at Annis Designs. Let's see. And then they're going to get some Astro Dice for me. I also pulled a tarot card for that person and kind of wrote something on the back for whoever won. Some cool little felt pumpkins. And then I probably won't unbox all of this because it's all nicely wrapped, but there's candles and crystals and all sorts of good stuff from the Metaphysical Witch, and I'll link them down below. And then I have a free reading from me and kind of like instructions on how to redeem it, and then Astro Dice instructions. So I'm getting ready for my live night tonight, and tonight is the last Tuesday of the month, so that means it is a member-only live. Any of you guys can join that, but I am just setting up here. I'll show you guys a little bit of what I do. It's not very exciting, but it's mostly just a lot of prep. So member live nights, we actually play a game and an exercise at the top of the hour. So I've got that all prepped because we're reading each other's photos of past family members. So I've got that all set up on my computer. Then I usually pull cards for the group, so I'm going to do that ahead of time. And then basically tonight is just going to be a bunch of giveaways. So I've kind of got all of that set up. I've been giving away a pair of Astro Dice, and I've got discount codes ready for our group for a few different things. So if you haven't caught a live night yet, that happens every Tuesday. Again, the last Tuesday of the month is for members, and anyone can join. All you have to do is click the blue join button on my channel. Our next one will be November 30th, which is the very last day of November. Always 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We will always do a fun psychic game, and I'll give you the homework for it at the end. I'm going to move my camera really quick, and then we're going to get into the messages for everyone, and then we will jump into our game. And I'm going to start doing the messages for everyone first, just to allow more time in case people missed the notification. So let me move my camera really quick. Of course, my live stream crashed. Ugh, that happens. But basically I just have to restart, and it's because there's like a rain lightning storm going on. I think I'm just not having the best of luck at the moment, but we shall keep trying. Basically, when that happens, just stick with me. I'll always try to get back. Oh my gosh, that was so rough. I lost my stream like 2 or 3 times. I'm sorry for those of you that are members that missed it. Thankfully, there wasn't very many members that could even show up tonight, because that would have been just even more of a mess. But sometimes that happens, and I just like, it's either my computer or my internet, and I just have to figure out what it could be. But I powered through, just made it happen. I also take that as a sign for the universe that I shouldn't be doing it tonight. I have a feeling it's because this upcoming weekend and the rest of this week is going to be so draining. And I'm kind of like taking that as like a precursor message, so paying attention. But yeah, let's see. I'm going to wrap up everything that I do, kind of take notes so that I remember next time what needs to happen. And Lori won our dice for today. I got this little dice bag. Throwing her dice in there. Let's see, I got everyone a little candle too. And then the instructions for how to use the Astro Dice. These are actually up on my website. So even if you have a set of Astro Dice, you can check those out and download it. And then I actually bought tarot cards off of ALI Express, which I would not recommend doing because they're small. They're too small. They don't come with the booklets. And then I found that some of them are printed incorrectly. So I don't know if they're knockoffs, if they're copies, or if they're like bad versions, but they just like do not work. Like this is like a normal size deck, and this is what I got. So, and I just also did not resonate with this one. So what I'm doing is asking, you know, what does this person need to know right now? And then I shuffle it, and then I throw one card in with orders. And so anytime anybody orders something from me that's physical, I will pull it and throw it in their bag. And because they probably don't know what this message means, I'm just gonna write it on a Sharpie on the back. That way they also know that they don't have to like keep this. It's just kind of like fun little extra. So today is the day that my Instagram giveaway closes. It's almost time for me to go ahead and select somebody. So I'm gonna pull up that post, and I'm using commentpicker.com to basically determine who the winner of this giveaway is. So just in case you're curious if someone else is doing a giveaway, Comment Picker, I'm gonna go to the free version. All right, it is now 12 o'clock my time, so no more entries. I am going to go to the giveaway post, come over here, and I'm gonna look for that post, October 2nd. So this should include everybody. So let's hit get comments, start raffle, and pick random winner. So we have a winner, woohoo! I'm gonna message her now. So I'm recording last week's video for you guys really quick. Normally I do not film this close to when a video should be coming out. It should come out in 2 days from now. But because of the whole situation with not knowing about the mansion and stuff, I had to really quick kind of come up with a video idea for this week. But it's one that I've had it for a while and I've had notes for. So it's a pretty easy one for me to do. So I'm gonna do that really quick. Honestly, that video was a little bit harder to get through than normal. I wasn't planning on that. I mean, talking about lots of family members that have died brought up some old memories. If you want to see more behind the scenes of how I actually make my videos, that was all of my member video for last month. So definitely check that out. I go into lots of detail on how I do all my setup, equipment, all that good stuff. You coming in to visit me? Go step in my crystal bowl. Aw, this is Ash. This is Ash. working on my tarot homework while eating lunch. I'm taking a 5-week course. Tonight is night 3. Oh, really? My homework was to go through the court cards, because that's what we did last class. And we were supposed to go through them and figure out which one we identified most with, which one was associated with us astrologically, which one feels the most not like us. And so I'm kind of just going through the court cards to figure that out. I feel like I'm feeling the most like these two purely because of the pictures, which is interesting because I don't necessarily feel like I associate with a meaning behind it. Like this feels crazy, moving forward, getting a lot done, but also like contemplative, stopping, thinking. I'm taking a lot of rest in between my moments of craziness. Honestly, the ones I feel least like are the queens, which, I mean, in all suits, I was kind of just like, nope, definitely not. And what are the queens? Queens are all about internal work, having a lot of possibilities gestating in our minds. They're all very stable, private inner work. I mean, that totally makes sense to me because I just have not been spending any time to myself at all lately and doing any of my own work because I'm just, Halloween season is all about everyone else's readings, so that totally makes sense. What? You ready to go? So we are at the Denver Convention Center. Denver Comic-Con Fan Expo is about to start. And my husband has a booth with the nonprofit that we used to be a part of. I used to be a part of, now he's part of it. And so we're here setting up our booth before the con starts. Child.
I don't think I have anything on this map.
So I am back and I have about an hour till my next tarot class. And the last bit of homework that I need to do, which I think is such a great idea, is I'm supposed to just do the court cards again, but I'm supposed to assign a card to a character in a TV series or movie series or book series. So because me and my husband are rewatching Harry Potter right now, I'm just going to do Harry Potter. And so I have to pick out of the 16 court cards and figure out which one is most similar to each tarot card. How I'm basically figuring this out first is I'm starting with the elements, and I'm saying, okay, which element is most this person? And so I'm using kind of a little sheet that she gave me for that. And then after that, I'm deciding, okay, within that element, are they a page, knight, king, or queen? So I did Dumbledore first, and you guys will have to tell me, those of you who know tarot, what your opinions would be. But Dumbledore, I thought he was wand energy, because wand energy is passionate, has an appetite for life, is very impulsive. Like, I think of Dumbledore that way. And the fact that he's a king, king is like uniting all the energy of the court cards. So he's like a page, a knight, a queen combined. So I would say Dumbledore is king of wands. That's my personal opinion. Mufasa. He did that on purpose. He's trying to get screen time. Okay, Harry Potter. Here's my interpretation. Harry Potter, Page of Cups. Hermione, Knight of Swords. Ron, Page of Wands. Dumbledore, King of Wands. Snape, Queen of Pentacles. McGonagall, Page of Swords. Now, I'm not going to go into how I made all these decisions. Tarot, from what I'm learning, is very much your own interpretation and what you associate with the images and the elements and all of it. But I'm curious what you guys would think. What would you pick? And list it in the comments down below for Harry, Hermione, Ron, Dumbledore, Snape, McGonagall. I'm very curious, and I was limited again only to the court cards, but that was a great exercise. And instead of just asking a question and pulling a card for an answer. It's like I had to understand what the cards meant and then who to associate with. So maybe if you're trying to learn the tarot as well, that's a good exercise to use. Alrighty, I am about to head into this tarot class, but this is my absolute favorite store here in Colorado, so if you ever have the time, definitely check out Ritual Craft. They also have a tattoo shop right next to it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get my next tattoo here. Now the store is closed right now, but I'll throw in some footage of what it looks like during the day. Look at these bathrooms. Amazing.
Illustrated along the bottom of this page.
So we basically went through all of the major arcana cards individually, and she gave us a few different ways to read it, and then a ton of handouts and a ton of homework. I really like Rena as a teacher, I think because one, she's a Virgo and very like organized and, you know, puts a pen to paper and really like organizes her thoughts and thinks about different ways to practice, and that's just really helpful for me as like a learning tool. And she just has such different ideals. Like she really reads the cards and she does the shamanic journeys and gets information from those as a tool, and she really like doesn't factor her intuition in like as like compared to me as like a psychic. She really doesn't use the clairs or any of that. And I think it's just really important to get other perspectives and other ways of thinking when it comes to your learning. I don't think you should always try to find people that think the exact same as you, because it doesn't challenge you and kind of make you try new things. But I still have 2 more weeks of that class. I'm enjoying it a lot, and hopefully you'll see me learning and teaching some of it to you guys in the future. Alright, doing another set of nails for this weekend. Cheap and fast for when you have a lot of parties. I hope this isn't too loud and you guys can see me okay. Oh, that's worse. I am on my way to event number 3. It is currently the weekend of Halloween. Halloween falls on a Sunday this year. Tonight is Friday. I've been just stressed out today because I've had to kind of clean the house and get everything ready to go for the whole weekend kind of up front. Alrighty, I am here. Tonight is super easy. I just have one party. I think there's just 4 people that want readings each, so I'm gonna split like 20 minutes between everybody. And so a lot lighter for me, and I'm not like having to super worry about just being able to go for a long amount of time. Tonight is more about kind of quality individual readings. So I'm gonna kind of sit in the car, ground myself, kind of get in the headspace of being at the party, and really probably just kind of come up with a plan of how I want to read people, because 20 minutes is just a weird number of like, I don't know, it's like not enough time to do something a little bit more in depth, but it's a little bit longer than just like kind of one topic to go into, if that makes sense. So gosh dang it, you guys, I didn't record any of that. I apologize. It ended up being like a group of us at like a dining table, and I've had a few readings where it was basically like that, where people they're totally fine with the other guests like hearing their readings, and we all sit at a table just because it's most comfortable. So that's actually happened a few times. I would say if you're a reader and you're like not prepared for that, like have an exit strategy, or like have a, hey, no, I don't do that, or like, hey, I'd prefer this. The first time that happened to me, it kind of threw me off, but now I'm totally fine with it. And what I kind of do is put up a block, and I kind of isolate the person that I'm talking to and try to block out the other people, not acknowledge them, not talk to them, and that's how I can kind of better connect with their energy. So I'm really bummed that I didn't get a video. I wanted to get a video of every single one, but didn't happen. I'm I'm stuck in traffic. But one of the things that almost everyone at these events always asks me is if I get drained often while doing these things. And I don't let myself get there anymore. I used to, but I figured out where my limit was. Like after 3 hours, I'm kind of done. So I don't do events longer than 3 hours. I will say though that for some people who are more empathic than I am, or who are just naturally more intuitive, then yeah, they might have to go way shorter than that. Like everyone has different limits. So just figure out what yours is. I've always been so afraid of cat eyes. Woohoo! It is now Saturday. I have an early party today. It's actually a lunch party, so we're doing lunch followed by a spirit circle. So that's a little bit different. Usually people just kind of hire me to do tarot readings, but the people who are more into woo-woo stuff, I recommend the spirit circles because it's basically me sitting in a circle or reading everybody, but I don't need as much stuff for that. So I'm gonna kind of empty out my bag and only take what I need. They also gave me a tip last night. That was super nice of them. I will say, I totally forgot. I think my favorite moment of last night was somebody had lost their parent recently. And I could tell she kind of didn't want to get into it too much. You know, just because somebody's passed doesn't mean they're ready to just hear everything. So I just asked him to sort of give me one message to confirm that he was there. And the reason why I like to do that is not to like prove that I'm awesome or something like that. It's more so that they, you know, have validation going home that, oh, she didn't just say something vague that anybody could say, like, oh, your daughter's here and he says hi and he loves you. Like, well, yeah. But I saw him he was behind me, he crossed in front of me to get to her, and he held out his hands, and I saw like a glowing flower in his hands, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I thought it was a lotus, but I heard clairaudiently lily, and I said, I think he's handing you like a lily, that's, you know, and she started crying, and she said that she had lilies at her wedding, and lilies were her favorite flower, and I just remember being like, what, really? And I probably reacted a little too silly, but I was so impressed that, you know, I could get that specific. But I think it's great to give people specifics like that because it's a little bit more validating that, yes, you know, that spirit is there. She's not just saying like vague, oh, I love you, I miss you, you know. So that was probably my favorite moment from last night. I thought that was really cool. Alrighty. I am here at the party. I'm about to go in, kind of tuning into the group energy. This is something that you can also do the night before. But I'm just kind of asking why, like, what's the group message here? And immediately what I was getting was maybe some, not overworking, but like just a lot of distractions from what is important. Like the people in this group are just distracting themselves, and I'm just getting the image of them veering off a path. And I will let it go, but also kind of like be open to there being more there, or something different once I actually get in there and see the energy. But that's just one way you can sort of tune in before an event to pick up messages. My husband and I played Swap the Baby. He was off to Comic-Con, and I'm watching him until Grandma gets here to pass him off. So that party wins best decoration, hands down, to any party I've been to. That was amazing. The food was great. Like, she just had this whole setup. It was fantastic. And basically, we just did a spirit circle around that table while everyone ate. I felt like it was a little distracting to have people eating, but it was kind of like we knew that was the plan going into it. And I just kind of tried to not let it bother me. Overall, I think they had a really good time. I I'm kicking myself because I feel like I could have done better, but that's just, I guess, the Virgo in me. It was a pretty, oh, you giving me a kiss? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I think because it was a larger group, I could only give so long of a time on each person for a message. So it felt like probably individually people didn't get like a whole lot of information, but that's kind of like the point of the spirit circles, is it's more of a group thing. So I wanted to give people more, but I mean, I didn't do anything wrong or anything. I'm a perfectionist and I always feel like I can do better. Are you gonna give me a kiss again? Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you. Oh, kiss for you. Uh-oh, what? I think it's also hard too when there's other intuitive people that are there. Not that they did anything like wrong or mean or anything, but it's hard to not feel like they're judging you. It's because everyone does things so differently in this realm of stuff. So I kept getting distracted by like, oh, what do they think of me? And I just had to keep setting it aside, so that it didn't interfere with my readings. And I just kept pressing on even when I felt silly or even when I felt like maybe the messages didn't resonate. And I think that's the best I can do. All right. Should we get you packed and ready for Grandma's? Say yes. 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 Let's get you packed. I originally had 3 parties scheduled for today. I just did the first one. The second one actually got canceled like 2 days ago because of some COVID concerns, which I told the person, like, I appreciate that they would cancel instead of just like continuing forward with it. And I think this brings up a good point about just if you're a reader and you're doing events, of like how to handle cancellations, because actually this is my first ever cancellation. I've never had anybody cancel an event before. I've had people cancel readings, but the issue is that, like, especially on a weekend like this, I had several other people ask about that time frame and I had to turn them down because, you know, I was already booked. And so what you want to do is make sure that even if somebody cancels, you're still getting paid for that time because it would have been filled otherwise. Now, the great thing about Gig Salad that I use, if anyone cancels before the event, I get to keep a deposit. That's why I wanted to bring it up, is because you should definitely protect yourself if you don't have something like that in place. And even if you don't do it through Gig Salad, like, send a disclaimer up front, like, hey, if you cancel an event, here's what happens. And honestly, this worked out for the best because I was going to have to drive an hour south for this and then come back up and do another party, and I was worried. I think I would have burnt myself out today, so I think it's probably for the best that it didn't happen. So now I have a couple hour break in between. My grandma was already going to watch my son, so I'm headed to Comic-Con because I really wanted to go. And I wanted to say hi to our team and a lot of the people that I work with. And my husband has a panel tonight, and I really want to catch it before I go to that party.
Right.
I went right.
Okay, I went in front of him, so we're going.
Okay, who and Buffering going right?
Right.
Everyone's going right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Me first.
If anyone get
Keep climbing. Hey.
Hey? That's okay, Lou. It'll just take some time.
I'm just like right next to him, like you got this, man. I believe in you.
So I got to see my husband's YouTube channel play for a little bit. They did an amazing job. Like, everyone was laughing. And I got to walk a little bit. Didn't find anything I wanted to buy, but now I have just enough time to go get some food before we head to the party. If I get too hot, I'll take this off, and then I've got my planchette underneath. Somebody commented earlier on how I don't look like a psychic because I'm wearing jeans. So I brought this to kind of make the space my own, just in case it's kind of ugly. And then I have my little bag of stuff ready to go. Oh, tampons. This is ideal because it's a lot quieter. It's a little bit more secluded. People have to walk up to me, and it's not in the main center of the party, if that makes sense. This is my view, kind of hanging out in this bedroom. Like, stressful, or you were just like, I'm hearing you maybe not confident, and he came in and really like guided you through a pivotal moment in life, and he was really helpful.
Yeah.
In that sense. I'm home, and there is just a black cat sitting on my front porch waiting. What does it mean? I'm done. I am home. I'm so excited. I mostly got really tired towards the end, not because I was burnt out by readings or anything, but because I just did not get good sleep last night. Our son just did not sleep last night. He woke up like 2 or 3 times, and then he woke up really early and was just like ready for the day. And so I have been up for a long time, and that's why, again, I think it's so important to take care of yourself. So this party was the one that I had been to like 2 years before they invited me back. And it was just as good as that first time. A lot of people there were just super kind, super open, and just nobody bad there at all. And the other psychic, I never got to talk to her because we basically got in, we got started, and by the time I left, I was like 15 minutes over, and she was still in her room reading. But they had us in 2 rooms right next to each other, so there was like a line outside, and basically people just split off. Whenever one door opened and there was availability, they'd just go into a different room. So it actually worked really well because everybody got a reading. And there was a lot of people at that party. So nobody got left out that wanted a reading. And I didn't feel super pressured to, really keep up people. But I set a timer to still try to keep things pretty short. And then other than that, they left me a really great tip. I'm like, holy cow, that was way too much. They gave me $80 for a tip. I've gotten a lot of good tips this year. Normally I don't have such consistent tips or such a large amount of tips. I'll total those all up when we get to the end of this vlog, just so you guys can see kind of what I made for this year for those of you who are readers and want to kind of maybe do the same thing. So I am gonna take off my makeup and get in my PJs and go to bed. And thankfully, our son is with grandma tonight at a sleepover, so I can sleep the whole night through. I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay. Any what? No, I think I'm good. Thank you. You say Happy Halloween? Happy Halloween! Happy Samhain! Samhain. Happy Samhain. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, happy Beltane. People in the southern hemisphere celebrate spring right now, so not everyone has the same seasons going on. But it is Samhain today, and we're gonna go home, get ready for family festivities, because today is all about celebrating with family, celebrating the loved ones and your ancestors that have passed as well.
and trick-or-treating here in the US. Oh, it's cold. We are at my mom's for Halloween, hanging out and just being with family and about to do trick-or-treating.
Oh my god. And what are you doing with the apples?
Just slice it. There actually might be some pieces that are already sliced in there. Okay.
They're all up there literally this weekend.
Oh yeah. What do you think?
What are you getting, bud?
Think
See all
it.
your candy?
You got a good haul.
How good did they do?
You shake your stick up.
Ash, we're back. That's copper.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
Say thank you.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Thank you.
You want to take some?
Grab easy.
Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knocking.
Hi, Edis.
Copper. Say trick or treat.
Technically his second Halloween, but he started to get the hang of it and understand it. You did a good job, huh? Oh, thank you. You eating your apples? We had a very great time with family, very much needed at the end of our week, huh? And now we're gonna go to bed. I know that I had 6 parties and one got canceled, but during all of this, I actually had another party get scheduled for tomorrow night, which is November 1st. Normally, I don't have a party that close after Halloween, but this one was kind of just like not related to Halloween. It was like a girls group that's going to be getting together to celebrate like a company thing. So I am not out of the clear yet. I do have a 6th one. So technically I had 6, got paid for 7 in a way. So this year has definitely been my best year yet. And I don't think it honestly has anything to do with like YouTube or marketing because everyone found me through Gig Salad. That's not true. Excuse me. 2 people actually contacted me through my website, so maybe they found me.
A part of Voldemort's soul latched itself onto the only living thing it could find.
I'm purposely going to take the next week off and just kind of not do readings, not do any live nights, and just kind of recuperate as a gift to Pooh myself. I would count this year as super successful just because I had way more events. Obviously, you know, in comparison to 2020, but even 2019, I ended up having way more than I did that year. And all in all, I think I made about $1,500 just off of these 2 weekends.
and that's not including tips. I probably had another like $250 in tips, which was really incredible that I got that many tips, so I'm super thankful. And then I think that also was not including the one tonight, because I'm not really counting that as technically Halloween. But that would have been another like $250 on top of that. So I charge about $125 an hour right now, and that is basically my $100 hour normal reading price, plus a little bit more for like travel and like food, and just that it's in person, so gas and all of that. I hope that you guys enjoyed following me around and all the shenanigans that I got up to this Halloween. Let me know if you like my vlogs. I know they're not the most popular, but I like making them, and I know that some of you guys like to just see me in my everyday element. So happy Halloween, happy Christmas now, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!